What's good? What's good? What's good? Welcome everybody back to a special episode. Every episode is special of SceneDMs. It's your boy Big Merv. You know, you got Deuce Wayne over there. You know what I mean? Same old, same old. Nah, man. Welcome back to another episode. We're hitting that 50 mark, man. We're getting close. But how you doing, dude, man? How's life? What's going on, brother?
Man, life is blessed, bro. Cannot complain. You know, a lot of great movies coming out right now, so I've been excited about having the opportunity to get something to leave the house for. You know, It's just a long time of I don't want to leave the crib for this movie, that movie, but I feel like there's been a great lineup recently that's allowed me to actually do what I love to do best, which is to watch movies, getting ready for the season, seeing family, seeing the mandem. I can't complain, bro. How about you?
Facts, man. I'm good too, man. Just trying to do my thing. Like you said, keeping up with the movies. There's a lot of movies, a lot of entertainment going on. I feel like this era, I was thinking about the other day, like I think about this era of entertainment. It's just like it's like a lot. You know what I mean? Yes. It's like good because we have like access to everything. But I feel like sometimes there's a lot. Like, you know what I mean? Like I remember just having to download a movie onto my computer and just watching it back in college and stuff like that because I just wanted to watch a movie and I'll see like the trailer. I watch the trailer, like, oh, let me watch this. But now it's like 30 trailers, there's 30 different TV shows, 30 different this, and I'm just like, bro, it's hard to keep up with, but especially grown 30-year-old adults now, I got other responsibilities and stuff like that. But
yo, the TV show is a funny thing that you said because I remember, like you said, being university, and it was like, for example, Breaking Bad was a show that everybody was watching and talking about. Nowadays, like you said, it's like I could ask you, yo, you seen this episode? And you'd be like, yo, but what about this show? And there's like so many different shows you got to keep up with. I'm like, bro, but I guess, you know, I can't be upset. At least we have options.
Exactly. That's the thing. Like it's nice, but sometimes I feel like it's oversaturated. But anyways, obviously we're movie lovers here, but also we're basketball players, one of the main shticks of our show. And obviously with a sad heart, well, two things. D Rose retired from basketball.
Yeah.
Which was a sad day for sure because, you know what I mean, we had his triumph and everything that he went through on the court. And it was a sad day as a hooper. What about you? How do you feel about that?
If I'm being honest, the way I feel is, remember we watched Equalizer 3? And how we saw Denzel. Remember how my reaction when I came out of the theater? I'm like, bro, I love the movie, but I was just so sad because, like, bro, this guy is. You can see him aging.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm becoming. I've reached the age where I'm just accepting it now. That a lot of these guys, like when I see De Niro, when I see certain guys, I'm like, wow, they've aged. So I kind of, you know, transfer that to the basketball world. Where again, I just saw a post where KD's like, whatever, late 30s. Steph is late 30s. I'm just like, bro, there's gonna come a time, bro, where all these guys are gonna have to retire. Bron is really suspending my belief right now of like what's possible. And sorry,
I'm telling you, bro.
Sorry, audience. I don't mean to always bring it back to Bron, but like it just makes me. It makes me really appreciate him, bro. And that is really doing this. I'm excited about him and Bronny. Like that media day stuff seems so cool. Just that's every parent's dream, right? Every parent's dream, bro. It's like you want your kid to continue, you know, picking up the sport that you play, but then to make it to the highest level of that sport, then be on the same team while you're still playing. It ain't like he a bum. Like he plays. Like Bron is still active. So like getting a lot from Bronny. But anyways, back to D Rose, man. I just remember watching his highlights growing up. Remember, he's had a crazy high school tape doing windmills, you know what I'm saying? Just a crazy jumper athlete. And then I just loved him because he was like so stoic the way he played. I mean, he didn't really, you know, he wasn't rah-rah. He wasn't talking trash. And I kind of feel like I resembled my game in the terms of like, that's how my demeanor is when I'm on the court. Like I never really talk trash. I'm very chill. Can never tell if we're down by 20 or up by 20. And that's something I appreciated about D Rose. And then, like I said, I remember him dunking on Dragic, me jumping up and down on my couch in my living room. You know, I wanted him to lose when he played, you know, Cleveland, and Brian, you know, had Bron really had to do to him. But I'm sad, bro. But I like the way that he did it. It was very cinematic. And then, you know, he talked about just how he has so much life left. And I think that just puts things into perspective for us athletes where it's like, yeah, we could be finished hooping or playing your whatever your respective sport is, but just know you have so much more life to live. So it's like whatever you gained knowledge-wise, lesson-wise, or even whatever you can leverage from that sport, just use it to like live the second part of your life, man.
No, that is facts. I think that we always think that basketball has such a short life for us, and people are always like, "Yo, what are you doing after?" Because people have normal jobs and stuff like that. And I'm just like, bro, like the world's our oyster. Yeah, we can really just do whatever and try to figure it out. Like we use all these years on basketball and continue to use all these years on basketball. Facts. We have like time to figure it out and have these opportunities to figure it out with the connections we have and people we know. So,
and you know, I like that he went out on his terms, bro. Because, you know, as a guy who's dealt with a lot of injuries, at least it's like, you know what I'm saying? He was healthy. He was playing recently. And it's like, bro, I'm at peace. I'm done with the game. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that. Let me ask you this. Do you think he deserves a statue? I know it's tough because MJ's out there.
No.
Do you think he deserves a retired jersey? Or not even that?
It's such a hard thing, bro, because he like won an MVP at such a young age and was winning at such a young age, but got hurt also at such a young age that he never actually like even hit the pinnacle of like who he was. He's only an 11% chance of being a Hall of Famer. It just depends on the Bulls organization, especially after they put so many different people in the rafters. I feel it would be hard for them to justify maybe putting Derrick Rose up there, maybe in some regard.
Yeah,
but statue, I don't think so. But a jersey, I think that for just the love that he gave to the city and everything he did for the city, I think that would be great. But
right, because you're a hometown hero, right? So,
exactly. Statue would be difficult though. I think if he stayed his entire career there, maybe. But they traded him away.
You think you need a ring to qualify for a statue?
Gosh, that's tough. I don't like this ring. In some regards, I don't like the ring culture because I feel like it diminishes some great players. Like I don't take away anything from Carmelo. I don't take anything away from like Charles Barkley, AI, T-Mac, like any of these guys that we grew up watching. Like I don't.
Vince Carter.
Exactly. Right? I don't take anything away from them because I think that basketball is at the end of the day a team sport, and you still need a good team to win. Yeah, and some people fall into situations. Some people are dominant enough to win by themselves. Some people are just like unfortunate, and I think that's what happens. So I can't really say that it's like, oh, let's do based on chips. But I definitely can say that you have to win. Yeah, something. But it just depends on organization as well, because some organizations put up things that, they're not used to winning, so they would put up anything, what I mean, or whatever like that. So yeah, that's a long-winded way, but yeah, bro. But I think he had a great career, and I'm excited to see what he has planned next. But also moving on to the next subject is that basketball great, a basketball giant, and especially as Black men, I think that obviously originating from Africa, the African giant like Dikembe Mutombo, passing away, R.I.P. Obviously that's our boy Boobs' uncle. Yeah, and R.I.P. Just praying for him and the family. He passed away, and he's had a monumental career. He's done so many things on the court, but especially off the court. Off the court is where he put a lot of different countries on the map. He put a lot of different kids on the map. He just showed his love, and he showed who he really was. And I know obviously Boobs on a personal level, and I know that he takes care of the family and looks out for everybody and does everything he can. So, and whatever they need. So I think that, he's just, that's why so many people are so sad. That's why you see Masai crying about it, because he touched so many people's lives. And I think that's the example we want to leave. After we're done playing basketball, after we leave this world, we want to leave some example of something. So R.I.P. to him. R.I.P. to him,
bro. Remember him? No, and all the commercials and blocking shots. And one of my favorite stories from him was when him and Jordan were joking around, and Jordan finally got him and dunked on him. So just like you said, Dikembe Mutombo, man, just it's so unfortunate. I feel like we say this a lot recently, but we're just losing so many legends. Because even outside of him, I just saw a whole bunch of actors and actresses this week.
John Amos.
Yes.
John Amos, and also we lost why am I blanking on the man's name?
I know we also lost Maggie Smith from the Harry Potter series.
Yeah, Maggie Smith. We lost John Amos, and we lost, bro, deep voice Mufasa, man. Why am I forgetting his name all of a sudden?
Oh, yeah,
Darth Vader.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones. Yes, we also lost him recently as well. Man, it's just, I feel like as we get older, as you obviously know, we hit 30. As we get older, people that we grew up watching and loving and all that stuff are like getting older too. Like seeing people that have that, you know what I mean, I grew up and they had regular hair, now have gray hair, you know what I mean, stuff like that is just like crazy to me. So RIP to everybody that we lost. Praying for all the families, all the friends, and all the loved ones, just, you know what I mean, in these tough times. So RIP to that. But as we pivot, first to start the episode, last week we talked about aliens. We did a list of alien movies, and we left off one movie franchise, I guess, and Ankh, as you call him, but Blue as I call him.
Yeah,
felt a little offended. Called us immediately and was like, "Yo, what's going on?" Like blew up our phone. Like, what's going on? How you gonna leave this movie out? And we had to let him know that this week actually was the week we're gonna do Predator. That's why we left Predator off the list.
I think that was his secret way of saying he wanted to be on the message boards. He wanted to be in the SceneDMs production room. He wanted to see.
He wants to see what's going on behind the scenes. That's what he wants. All right,
relax. It's coming. Pause.
Exactly. So as we go into the episode today, talking about Predator, and it is technically kind of a part 2 of Aliens. So Dwayne, like obviously as I talked about Predator already, what was your introduction to the Predator? The Predator, whatever you like to call it.
I want to say my first initial introduction actually was the 2004 Alien vs. Predator movie with Sanaa Lathan, especially because that's when Sanaa Lathan because she still is a force in Hollywood, but was really heating up. You know what I'm saying? I was a fan of her because of loving basketball, of course, but just seeing her versatility in a whole bunch of films, including that one, just seeing how she could take the mantle of being an action kind of, female character that really led the movie. For me was one of my first introductions. And then, my pops, I always mentioned him, but, big OG notice. He really is an Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know what I'm saying? Actions, martial arts, all that, like the 80s and 90s. Like he was that, like, that catalyst for me watching those movies. Is kind of like, how when we have kids, Merv, and they're going to be watching basketball and it's like, all right, but let me show you what Braun was doing back in 07. Yeah. Let me show you what this player was doing. Like, you think these guys are tough? Like my dad was that. Like, he was like, no, if you're going to be a movie cinephile, then you have to respect what came before this and see the guys that laid the groundwork. So I would say at first it was the AVP, but then quickly I pivoted to the original Predator movie, which came out in 1987. And for me, that just, we'll talk about it obviously in detail more, but that kind of set the bar for me. But how about you?
Yeah, I would have to say the same thing. I never got to watch when I was younger. That's why we talk about 70s movies, 80s movies, it's kind of, I'm doing catch up now. Because I wasn't allowed to watch a lot of those movies when I was younger. My parents weren't as big into those movies. More so, the Jackie Chan, the Jet Lis, the Bruce Lees, and all stuff. The Jamaican Yachties and stuff like that. And some other action movies I've definitely seen it, but I never got to go that far back and see the Predator. So our Predator. I saw the first one I did see, like you said, was Alien vs. Predator with Sanaa Lathan. And that was my introduction to both of them. I didn't know anything outside of those movies, so I thought that they always were like together. Like I didn't know it was like they were two separate entities and like fought other people and did other things. Like, I just thought it was just them like, because of how it was set up in Alien vs. Predator. But we'll obviously discuss that more in detail later on. But that's my introduction, and that's why I was so confused when we obviously started to do this episode and doing more research on everything. I was like, holy, like I didn't know all this stuff. So,
but do you like? Let me ask you. Do you like? So, like you said, now that we have a chance to kind of study these films and the progression and the evolution of whatever franchise universe we're talking about, do you like knowing that you could binge these films and watch, like 7 of these films in a week or whatever, knowing that what's coming next in terms of the story, no more cliffhangers? Or would you have liked to have been in the 70s, 80s, 90s when it happened and have to like really be like, I'm excited. And you know what I was thinking about too?
It's tough.
About how fortunate we are are and blessed because of technology, obviously. Like whether it's Reddit, whether it's the internet, whether it's social media. Like if we have a question about a film, we could just go on the internet and look it up. You know what I'm saying? Like this doesn't make sense about the. But back then, imagine watching an alien movie or a Predator movie, and there was like rarely any mythology behind it or exposition, because unless you had the comic book or you know what I'm saying, like you had to just talk to your friends about it and be like, yo, I think this is how it connects. Like I struggle with that answer because again, as a guy who loves movies, I'm like, yeah, the next movie, I like, you know how we breeze through these, it's like, oh yes, I got to watch the next one. Like you get excited, like, oh, what's gonna happen next? But then I'm like, I also miss the fact of like, you know, me, my favorite movie is Heat. And I'm just like, I would kill to have watched Heat in theaters in 1990. Like I would have like been a kid in the candy store. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how you feel about that. Like, would you rather be in that time? Or?
Yo, I kind of am on the fence because it depends on obviously the film franchise as well. But I think that's so tough because of course I would have loved to have been there to see it right away. But I also hate when I go to the movies and watch a Dune Part 2 and then I'm like, bro, now I gotta wait years before Dune. I mean, the third one comes out, and I'm just like, so I kind of like the fact that I can just sit down and watch all of them all at one time, like all in one sitting. But at the same time, I kind of do think that the movie theater feel to movies, like there's so many movies I've watched at home and I watched them at theaters, and I was like, yo, it hits so different when I was at the theater. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And seeing everybody's reactions and seeing how movie theaters used to be packed out, everybody there, like everybody laughing together, everybody like whatever. Like I think that in the 80s, I mean the 90s, 80s, and 70s would have hit different. And also been cheaper too. But it would have been
Too many Tuesdays.
Exactly. I think it would have been elite to experience. So kind of on the fence, but I definitely as a movie lover and movie theater goer, I think that I would say that I probably would have rather just go in the movie theaters to watch those, so for sure. But yeah, bro, long introduction, but we're you know sometimes we just like to talk to the audience, bro. Nothing wrong with that. But let's take a quick media timeout. We'll be right back with Act 1. Welcome back. This is Act 1, SceneDMs, issue 48. So, obviously, as we talked about multiple times about the Predator franchise, let's like really dive in and just give people like what they need to hear before we just dive in. We did it last week with Aliens. Let's do it this week. Can you give the audience some of the strengths and weaknesses of the Predator?
Yeah,
the Predators or whatever you want to call them, because it's it's a race. So
there's a lot of them. I learned that recently too. I didn't know that the different kinds, but for sure. And you can chime in because I might forget some. You're better at this than I am. But what I learned basically was the predators are physically distinguished from humans by their greater height. So a lot of these predators are at least 7 feet. So they're 7 foot, and then you have other, like, you know, Merv just alluded to, other species within the predators, different races, and some could reach up to 10 feet, 11 feet, or even taller. And we've seen examples of that in certain movies where, like, a predator will have to, you know, interspecies dominance, or another predator would be fighting another predator, and you'd be like, damn, that's the big one. Where did he come from? You know what I'm saying? So when they have their arthropod-like mandibles, which for everybody out there I learned what mandibles means, is basically paws, the jaw. Structure, and how like they use like their teeth, the appendages, and everything, to really, you know, wound whatever they're trying to fight, their prey, for lack of better words, and their victims. They also have the dreadlocks, which is like the popular, you know, iconic look that they sport. Yeah, they all kind of have. I always wondered why they did that, but it's dope. Their bodies are really resilient to any type of damage, man. They're capable of recovering from multiple gunshot wounds. They can withstand radiation that would prove fatal to humans. And like I said, sometimes we've seen in movies where they would have wounds that would require medical attention, but they have like some type of portable surgical kit that they could just always
be Batman so bad.
I promise you, bro. Imagine, you know, in a movie, it's not a Predator movie unless they got hurt and then they, you know, stitch themselves back up and then let out a crazy scream. But the Predators are very much stronger than humans. You know, they're capable of outmatching any, you know, adult human. They could shatter solid concrete with their bare hands. We've seen them be skilled climbers. they can move through trees with the finesse across some rooftops to pursue their prey. And I think in the films they also showed that they have, they could incorporate and understand and learn, human communication, because in certain films they actually repeated on occasion what humans say, but for the most part they had their own language. Their dialogue is like symbols. And I think they really have a lot of weapons and technology that they could use to their advantage. Like the alien tech is crazy, man. They're just mantled with so many different assortments, like Merv said, like Batman, just like a utility belt. They have guns, they have swords, laser beams. And then lastly, I'll say this, man, their vision, which is so cool, because I was just recently with Trizzy, shout out TRK, and he just had something he had something mailed in from his job, and it was like a radiation gun for him. And it was so crazy because when I looked into it, I'm like, bro, this is how the Predator movies, like, this is how they show what their vision is. So for everybody out there who's wondering, the Predators can't really see by sight. They more so recognize you through your heat recognition. And again, we'll talk about it later, but there's certain people in these films that are able to avoid and evade these predators because they're able to, whether they're putting mud on themselves or just take away the heat, like Merv was saying. So I think that was a pretty cool thing when you're designing these, because it could be seen as a weakness, but to me, I just think it's just cool, bro. The fact that they're not really able to see visually, but they have to go based off of their scent, their smell, and also just that primitive aspect of being like what it means to be a predator.
Yeah. No, man, it's a great list. I think that they're it's great examples of their strengths, and I mean great examples of their weaknesses as well. So throughout all these movies, so great list. And since you already gave them all the strengths and weaknesses, why don't you move on and just tell them about the very first Predator?
Yeah, man. One of my favorites, I guess we'll talk about it later where we're ranking them, but for me, this is probably number one on my list, just because, again, I'm a big Arnold Schwarzenegger guy, but Predator came out in 1987. It was budgeted at $50 million, and they made $98 million. It was an instant success. Obviously, the studio was like, run this back. And I'll talk about a little bit more of that later, but the original Predator takes place in 1987. So back then when we were talking about these Alien and Predator movies, sometimes it gets confusing with the dates, but this one's pretty simple. It actually takes place in the time of the movie that it came out. Mm-hmm. And in the middle of the U.S. interference, they're running interference in Central and South America with the political affairs. A CIA operative, Carl Weathers, and mercenary Alan Dutch Schaefer, who's played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, leads a military team deep into the Central American jungle to take down a sensitive enemy operation before the Predator starts hunting them down. After they are succeeding in their initial mission, because they actually, take a hostage, they realize they're being stalked, and one by one, Dutch's team is really gruesomely getting murdered. It's actually intense, and it plays like a scary, horrific slasher type film. But I love it because you don't really see the Predator for a long time. You just kind of see these kills, and it just adds to that suspense when you're watching the movie. But Dutch soon notices that the Predator must be hunting for sport because the creature ignores their hostage. You know what I'm saying? When they had the hostage, she was unarmed. And when they seen that, they realized that the Predator didn't attack. So there had to be some type of connection and correlation there. Mm-hmm. Meaning the Predator is only interested in people who are considered a threat. So if you don't pose a threat for them, they're not even businessing about you. We've seen other examples of that in different movies. So. They look at you like, not even worth my time. And basically, he gains more knowledge about the Predator as he comes out of the water. When he takes that deep dive from the waterfall, and then he tries to evade the Predator, and he comes out with the mud on him. He was covered in mud from head to toe, and the Predator didn't even know where he was. And the Predator is super relentless because he even got into the water. I was like, damn, could the Predator swim? And that answered my question right away. I also forgot to mention they have like a camouflage suit that they could use as part of their technology, so it allows them to kind of stay hidden amongst the trees. They're kind
that's
of really,
that's
the main thing, and they're really smart. And I think I asked you a question in text, so I want some clarification a little bit later. But some movies you can see them, some movies you can't. It's like some of those things. You know how when you look out deep into like the sun or like into like past like a vision, and you kind of see a figure, but not really. I feel like that's the kind of reflection they're kind of giving off. But in this movie,
yeah, you know what I mean? There's a reflective like thing that like
where it's like something's
you can see something's moving, but you can't tell what it is. Yeah.
Right. And in this movie, it's like they can't really see at all, except for like Billy Duke's character, or even the main guy, Billy, I think, who was like the tracker. He just knew something was wrong. But yeah, man, I just think that it was a great movie. It's a dope scene where, like I said, after that, because we see that the Predator can only see via the heat signatures, that Arnold starts constructing makeshift weapons in preparation to fight the Predator. And later on throughout the series, we see that, he strikes him a couple times. And when he was wounded, the creature, he actually he got damaged so much the Predator took off his mask. He actually rated him. He was like, you know what? Out of respect for the competition, I'm gonna take off my mask. The man said, you know what? I'm gonna fight you straight up, bro. Because I actually rate you. And I thought it was really dope, that scene. And then, like I said, Dutch was basically hanging on by a thread, trying to survive throughout the battle, and he finally did. And once he, kind of mortally ruined the Predator, which is another thing that the Predators always like to do, is they like to self-destruct, because you're like, bro, we're not just finna lose, bro. Everyone's losing. If I can't win, everybody's losing.
Yeah, if I don't win, nobody's winning.
So he ended up doing that, but Arnold was able to escape, and he was basically the only survivor out of his crew. But I want to talk about the movie a little bit before I pass it over to you. I'm saying, man, for the first movie, I like it because it's light on information about the alien hunters. And I think, again, for a movie, when you don't have too much exposition, it leaves a lot to the imagination. And it doesn't complicate movies. Not saying that certain movies are like too complicated or complex, but this movie is so simple that it makes it that much entertaining. Because it's just like, all right, we understand this is what the Predator does. We learned this about the Predator here, and we learned that about the Predator there. And it's just like a cat and mouse game. But there's not too much like, oh, the Predator came from here, and then when did he, like, why is he there? Like, there's not much of that. And I kind of appreciated that because it made for a dope 80s action flick. And it doesn't take itself it takes itself seriously. I think that's why it works, but it doesn't take itself as a joke either. There's hella ad libs. I love when Arnold meets Carl Withers' character, and he's like, "You son of a bitch!"
And they do that. They do the dap up that you always see, the gif or the picture.
Yeah,
strong, literally steroid up in the arms, like Jesus God.
Bro, the man said, "What? The CIA has got you pushing too many pencils."
You son of a bitch! What's the matter? The CIA got you pushing too many pencils? Huh? Had enough?
Make it easy on yourself, Dutch.
Okay.
You
never did know when to quit, huh?
Damn good to see you, Dutch.
So I'm just like, bro, Arnold's
actually, side note. Yo, do you not think that Arnold didn't have an accent in that movie?
Oh, that's a good question. I think,
bro, I don't know if you peeped it or not, bro. Like, I've obviously seen him in other things, and like whatever Terminators, like, I've seen him in so many things. I'm just saying, where like an example of his accent, but like, bro, it seemed like he didn't have an accent.
No, I would go on record and say this is one of the better movies where he's acting in, because, and this leads to my next point, where this is the first time where we kind of seen Arnold face someone who's bigger than him. Literally, Commando and certain other movies that came out before this, like, he's really manhandling, like, he's carrying nukes, like, by the hand, like it's a pillow. And you know what I'm saying? So seeing in this movie where he's facing, and he's always like in other movies he's beating up 12 mans at one time, bro. In this movie is the first time where a figure made Arnold look like small, miniature. Like, this intimidating figure was towards Arnold. So I like that a lot, because like, oh, you finally met your match, bro. And then there's so many, we talk about one-liners, but there's so many one-liners. Arnold throws a knife at bro and says, stick around. He has a dope scene where they ask him, they're like, yo, the Predator can't be killed. The man said, if it bleeds, it could die. I said, yo, that's so hard, bro. At the end, when he's like, run, get to that chopper. Like, that was hilarious, too. Bro, I love that guy, bro. And then I also think it's like a masculinity, like a toxic masculinity movie, bro. There's just like literally everybody in the movie's a man. There's like one female in it. And then you have a great ensemble cast. I think there's a guy from wrestling. So this is like, my hot take is this started the whole trend of like, yo, get a guy from the wrestling world, put him into a movie. Oh, damn, the bro can actually act. Like, this is crazy, because now we see John Cena, The Rock, and all these guys, Triple H, that are, have done that. Overkill, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Really quickly, I want to talk about how there was the machine gun aspect of this movie was them actually kind of making fun of the 80s movies and saying like, yo, all they do is shoot guns in movies. So there's that one scene in the movie where they shoot literally just do for like a minute straight, bro. The forest got destroyed, and they're like, did we get up? No, y'all didn't get up. Wasted every bullet. It was hilarious. And like I said, man, this is what I'll say too. I like the structure of the movie, where basically it sets it up where we know Arnold's the guy. But then for the first hour and a bit of the movie, Arnold's not really in it like that. We spend time with the other guys. and they get picked off one by one. And then at the end, it's like, okay, Arnold, it's his time.
One-on-one.
Exactly, one-on-one. So I thought that was a very cool structure because it starts with Arnold. He gets off the chopper with the bag in his hand, with the snap, with the cigar, traditional look. And then, like I said, you just see him kind of quiet throughout the movie. Then at the end, he goes crazy. One thing I wanted to say too, Merv, is that the Predator is only in the movie for 8 minutes, which is kind of crazy. Nowadays, a lot of movies do overkill with the villain, but again, the screen time I calculated, bro's on the screen for only 8 minutes at a time. And
it makes sense at the time because special effects and everything
exactly
that has to go into it. So,
and another cool thing I learned too was that the guy that flew the helicopter at the end was the guy that played the Predator in the suit. So he has a double appearance in the movie.
Oh, shoot, really?
Which is kind of dope. I guess the
dope.
producer was like, "Fam, we'll give you some screen time.
Yeah,
we'll give you some screen time with your face still." But again, talk about the different quotes. You won, ugly mother effer is a quote that was a specific line throughout the franchise that we see everybody else say. And I thought the end credits was so cool, Merv. I don't know if you watched the end credits, but it kind of reminded me of those like sitcom shows because it showed like all the characters and then he would like catch the gun and smile, and I'd be like, bro, all these guys got killed.
They're all dead. Yeah, what are they smiling about?
But that was just so dope. So I just love that movie, bro. I can't speak highly enough about how much I like it. Just being in the jungle, getting stalked by the Predator. It won an award for special effects, an Academy Award, and we can see why. I mean, obviously at the time, like when you look back on it, some of the CGI is a little bit janky, but it holds up well. I don't care what anybody says. I think the Predator suit was just so daunting and menacing. But yeah, I just love that movie, bro. How do you feel about that?
No, I thought it was really good movie. I wouldn't necessarily put it as my number one, but out of the Predator franchise. But I think that it was really put together. It was just like a 80s action film,
right?
Like you said, big. What's it called? Pause, guys.
Yeah.
That shotguns had their arms out, like, you know what I mean? Just like that was the whole point. Like they're trying to look at it as like
I don't know who had more baby oil, them or P. Diddy, fam.
Okay. Okay. I was gonna say what's the episode count for until this man says something about that, but I guess. But I think that they did a good job with it. I think that there were still levels. Like I can, because obviously as everybody knows, is that I've seen more newer movies than old ones. Newer movies make more sense from an action standpoint in certain ways because of that. Because I was like, oh, okay. Like it's like the heroic one-on-one battle after like everybody passes away or everybody's dead. Yeah. And then you see him like a montage of him like making weapons and doing, bro, they even do it in like Home Alone. Like, they have like montage of him making weapons doing everything like this. And I'm not gonna say that he was the start of it, but I can see it like a big time in that movie. So, but a good movie for sure. I think you said everything about it. So yeah, do also let us know about Predator 2.
Yeah, I was also gonna say too, bro. I don't know if you heard about this, but two things. They had like 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. lift calls. Like Arnold, Carl, all those guys would wake up at 5 a.m. and like just get a pump in pause, and that's why like they're like just physically so fit
and steroids.
And steroids. But you can only imagine like those guys on set like just competing. Just like, yo, who has bigger like muscles? Like I could just definitely see them every day. Like I do.
So pause. That was so pause.
And the last thing I was gonna say is, bro, you know our guy Shane Black acts in the movie. So Shane Black is, a famous director nowadays. He's directed so many of our favorite films. And the funniest thing is that he was a writer on the film, and the director asked him to rewrite certain scenes. And he didn't want to do it, so because of that, they put him in the film, and that's why they murked him the way that he got murked. Because the director was like, "All right, so you could be the film," and then he got killed the way he got killed. But moving on to Predator 2, it came out in 1992, and due to a dispute over salary, Schwarzenegger declined to return to the sequel, so that's why he didn't come back. Just because basically he wanted more money, and deservedly so. But the director wasn't with giving him the money, so Silver brought in 3 actors that he actually worked with on Lethal Weapon, and that's why you have Gary Busey in the movie, you have Steve Kahan in the movie, and then you also have Danny Glover in the role of Harrigan, because it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. The movie was set in 1997, so this is where things kind of changed a bit. The movie came out in 92, but it's set in 97. But there was a connection, and basically it's about the Predator 2 ditched the whole jungle vibe, and it was more of like a concrete jungle in LA. You know what I'm saying? And 7 years, like you said, into the future, there's basically a huge crime wave that's running rampant, and it's kind of like the perfect destination for the hunters from outer space, because it's like, all right, look, all these guys are armed with weapons and doing bad things. And yeah, like I said, the decision to make the movie in the future was kind of cool, but it felt really 90s. Like when I watched it, it felt real dated. And it's like I said, connected to the movie in the sense where Gary Busey plays Peter Keyes, they didn't even establish what agency he's from, but he's from a special agency that basically comes down and they're tracking the predator and to see what the humans have learned. And it's basically, they got the same analytics that they got from Arnold Schwarzenegger's character and the female, and they use that to their intel. And Danny Glover's character is a sergeant, and I don't know, I feel like we'll talk about it a little later, but he ends up arresting or trying to stop a certain crime, and then he finds out the predator's there, and he kind of sees him but doesn't see him, and then one by one the predator's killing off his police crew. And everyone gets killed except for Mike. And then Harrigan, who again is Danny Glover's character. We also see that the government, basically based on their intel, put together a trap for the predator. And they know that the predator goes to this little meat place where they keep the meat at, but that's where he feeds. That's really like a little freezer, and they try to use that to their advantage. But the thing is, at the end of the movie, the predator, like I said, is smart, so he switches his mode from the heat vision to like some type of light thing, and he notices them with the flashlight, and that's how he's able to locate them in that little warehouse, and he murks all of them, of course, except for Danny Glover's character, who then follows him and chases him to the ship. Once he evades the predator, he follows him to the ship, and when he follows him to the ship, unrealistically, the man kills the predator. But before that scene, I think we talked about in the last episode, but this is where we saw the different trophies and the skulls, and that's where we saw the alien skull, and we realized, like, okay, there's like the fans wanted a connection because they're like, oh shoot, but really they're just paying homage to the designer. And then he was able to, like, most of these movies were able to use the tech from the actual predator to kill him. So he sliced him in the torso with his knife, and then basically like 3 or 4 predators just appeared out of nowhere. And they guess they got the respect and were like, yo, you murked one of our man, so actually
then they gave him something.
They gave him the pistol that we could talk about a little bit later as a trophy.
Which passed down from
which gets passed down. But man, the reason why I didn't go into depth about the movie is because it actually sucks in my opinion. It's trash, like Merv likes to say. This is a hot bag of trash. And man, just seeing how it went from that to that, I was just truly disappointed. One, I thought that Danny Glover was super miscast. He was like constantly stating the obvious, and that's not his fault, I guess, but it's the script's fault. But it was horrible. Like there was the one scene where his partner
was so angry for the entire movie, and it seemed like he was choking, he was yoking people up for no reason. I was like, fam, why is he so upset? Like, what was his deal?
I said, bro, you can't do this. You can't just yoke up a government official for everybody. And I was just like, bro, it have no repercussions. And like you said, he was so unhinged. He had that one scene where his partner went to go back to the Jamaican's place, which I'm going to talk about in a second, and investigate, and then he got murked. And then he picked up his necklace and he was like, oh, this is Daddy's necklace. And I'm just like, bro, yeah, we see you holding his necklace. Like, he was just like one of those, there was a scene where he was at the bar and he was like, I guess I gotta go stop the predator. I'm just like, yeah, like what else are you gonna do? Like,
that's the whole point of the movie. Yeah.
He was just stating the obvious. The shootout scene in the beginning was just like wildly unrealistic.
It was unrealistic, bro. I was like, whoa, why are they having a shootout in broad daylight? And it's 30 on 30. I was like, bro, it has to be a movie set. Cause I was like, it's set in LA. Cause I never seen the movie. So I was like, it's set in LA. So I was like, oh, it has to be a movie set. I'm like, oh, it's not? I was like, oh, it's real? Bro, I was like, this is so fake, bro.
Bro, man's just shooting guns everywhere. He's hitting the bag of coke like his baby powder. I was just like, he's going crazy. And then I ain't gonna lie, Merv. One of my pet peeves is seeing fake Jamaicans in films, and as a Jamaican, as ourselves, and those Jamaicans are just like,
I think it was Paul Mooney that played the Jamaican, like the Jamaicans groups.
Yeah,
whatever they called the head guy, or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. Some of their patois was atrocious, and yeah, you're right. 98% of their patois was atrocious. Is how they, bro. the stereotypical scene where they came out the car and everyone was smoking weed, and I said, "All right, bro." And Danny Glover said, "You guys really need to chill on that."
Yeah, I was like, bro, like not every Jamaican smokes weed. One,
and number two, like what the hell,
bro? But I think it was it was King Willie and it was Calvin Lockhart. That's who it was, not Paul Mooney. He looks exactly like Paul Mooney.
And I always wondered if they were like, I mean, are they real Jamaican or are they just actors that are pretending to be Jamaican? But like, is it because they don't want to get Jamaicans that speak with heavily accents because they won't be able to understand? Like, I don't.
Technically, he's Bahamian, so, I'll give him, I guess.
This is not about money. This is about power. There's a new king in the streets. This is a message he has for your people. You are history. Fucking history. Goddamn puto.
I mean, it's the closest they can get. I mean, I'm just glad it wasn't an American that was just trying to.
And one thing I'll say too is the score was awful. The score was complete awful. Like the previous film had the marching band, like the marching score of just being in the jungle, just a military type of thing. And this film, score was horrible. And the last thing I'll say too is that it was a good, like, solid premise. Like, seeing the predators come to a city is something that we want to see, especially after seeing them in the jungle. But I just thought it was executed pretty poorly. So that is the second one. Oh, the other thing too is, bro, that one character, I forgot his name because it was so not memorable, is the Johnny from Mortal Kombat guy, like the cop that was hitting on the female cop in the group, the hotshot kind of cop. The younger guy.
Oh, the one from Aliens.
It's so annoying, bro.
That's crazy that he crossed over both. Are you talking about Bill Paxton?
No. Oh, was it Bill Paxton that played him?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Yeah, he did cross over both.
Yeah, Bill Paxton was the annoying guy that kept saying those stupid jokes.
Yeah, that was bad, bro. I liked him better in the Aliens.
He was the same character in the Aliens.
He was the same character, but this one was, I don't know what it was, bro. It was just like, I didn't get the point of his character, and then there was no real arc to it. I don't know. I just felt like, that movie was just overall bad, in my opinion. And again, I want to, give it its credit for, bringing the Predator to Earth and then kind of, being the one to launch the Alien vs. Predator, I guess, franchise. But yeah, as a standalone movie, it wasn't that good.
Yeah, bro. I don't have much to say about it. I said my piece about the man overacting, being over upset. Like, it was just, bro, and it's going to get worse. I'm sorry to tell all the audience members, it gets worse. So we're going to take a quick media timeout. We're going to come back for Act 2. Welcome back. Act 2, SceneDMs, issue 48. We just spoke about Predator and Predator 2, and now we're going to make our way down. Don't worry, people. This act will be quick. We're going to make our way down to the next two in the franchise installments. The next ones in the installment are Predators. Is Predators. Yes, this movie came out in 2010. It was starring Adrian Brody, Lawrence Fishburne, Topher Grace, Alice Braga, Walton Goggins, and Danny Trejo, who actually got like a very small, like he wasn't in the movie long. Yeah, and Mashallah Ali was also in the film. It is about. Okay. I think this one's not that bad, personally. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I don't think it's that bad. I don't think it's that bad. But if you say something's not that bad, then you're starting off on the wrong note. But essentially, a group of elite warriors, they say, Earth's mightiest warriors, are parachuted into this random jungle. They're all confused. They have amnesia. They have no idea where they are. They know their names, but they don't know where they are. They just remember the last place they were. And pretty much at the beginning, they're all like fighting each other, or trying to fight each other, trying to kill each other, because they're like thinking that the other one brought them here, or the other group sent them here, whatever. Yeah. Finally, they come to the realization that they're all there together, and they're there for a reason. Adrian Brody's character, the lead, comes to find out that actually this is like a game. Like, they're all like in this game of the predators. They bring you to their planet, and then essentially they play a game of hunt with you, and then they try to kill off all you guys and stuff like that. So pretty much throughout the movie, they just go through different obstacles trying to run away from these predators. There's 3 of them. and they were trying to run away from them. There was actually one tied up predator, which is important for the plot later on. And they run into somebody after they finally find out what is going on. Braga's character, she said that she makes reference to Predator and Predator 2, saying that they on Earth they made contact with the alien species back in 97 and 87. I don't think they disclosed the date in the movie because they don't know where they are. They're on a different distant planet.
Yeah, that's movie they didn't disclose the date for.
So anyways, they run into they think was a predator, and come to find out it was actually Lawrence Fishburne. And Lawrence Fishburne had been surviving there because he actually happened to him 10 summers ago. 10 seasons ago. He didn't know. 8 seasons ago, he was talking to himself the entire. Whatever. So he brings them to like this ship that he has and all that stuff, and he kind of tells them like, "Yo, like this is what it is. This is what they do. They hunt for fun, and they just go through killing people, and that's it." And he plays it very menacing, very weird, very. I don't know what words to use, but he's kind of lost his marbles, as they would say.
Yeah.
And then they have to fight off the last remaining aliens. He tells them that there's actually a ship. He tries to kill them. He tells them that there's a ship that the aliens use, and they're like, "Why did we just try to use that?" And he's like, "Oh, why didn't I think about that?" But he's like, "Obviously, I did, and I tried it, and it wasn't gonna work." So, anyways, they escape, make it all the way far. They make it. 3 of them make it far, and one of them gets Topher's character gets caught in a bear trap. Or trap in general. And Adrian Brody's character's like, "Bro, we just gotta leave him." And Braga's like, "Yo, fam, we can't leave the man. Like, bro, we can't leave him, whatever." So he's like, Adrian Brody's like, "I'm out. Deuces." So anyways, he ended up making it to the ship. He releases the alien that was the predator, that was strung up. He makes it to the ship and seems like he gets away. Come to find out, Braga's character and Topher's character actually was, the entire time he played it like he was a doctor, innocent, didn't know how to use guns, didn't know how to use all that stuff. Come to find out he was a sinister man that was a killer and did all this stuff on Earth, and that's the reason that he shouldn't be going back, because he poisoned Braga's character. Brody comes and saves the day, and Brody also is able to kill the predator, the main predator, because all the predators die, the 2 predators die, and then there's only the main predator, and then that one that was chained up, and the main predator murks the one that was chained up, murks him.
Yeah.
And then Adrian Brody's able to kill the main predator, and then at the end, him and Braga's character have to figure out how they're going to get off Earth. It was whatever. I think it was a cool movie for 2010s, as in like there was enough action, enough shooting, enough whatever. Storyline was solid in a sense. Obviously they went back to the jungle aspects, but instead of it being on Earth, it was in a different world. So I thought it was cool. I thought Adrian Brody was pretty good. Mashallah Ali, for the certain amount of time, he was good. Braga was good. Topher played it really well, menacing. It reminded me a lot of how he played in Venom in Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
And Lawrence Fishburne, I think he did a good job as well.
Every once in a while, one of us kills one of them. And let me tell you, that's when they get real interested. See, they learn. Quick, they adapt. They develop a whole new set of skills. They come back the next season in 3s, always in 3s. Their armor might have changed, or their weapons have changed, or their tactics have changed. How do we kill them? However you can.
Always, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the movie was solid for the most part.
Yeah, it's whatever. Kanye shows.
Yeah, it's whatever. I guess it did its job. So, when it comes to the budget, it made, I don't know why it's not showing a budget, but it made domestically $52 million, internationally $75 million, so worldwide it made $175 million, which is, I mean, solid.
Not bad, yeah.
Yeah, not bad. Just need to see what the hell the budget was. And then we have our answers. But box office, $127 million. Oh, budget was $40 million. So, I mean, they made money.
Yeah,
they made some solid money. So I'm assuming that's why they kept going with the franchise. Do you have any reservations, any comments about the movie?
Yeah, I thought it was just whatever. Like I feel like it was good enough to keep you there, you know what I'm saying, invested until the end. But it's definitely a movie that I'd probably call on my phone if I was watching at the crib. But like you said, there were some dope performances out of some actors that I really enjoyed, especially around that time. So I thought it was cool. It did what it was supposed to do. It added to the story a little bit, but not as much as the next movie you're probably going to speak about.
Sorry, added to the what?
The story, like just a little bit, like just even showing different predator, like you know what I'm saying, just different predators in that aspect, kind of thing.
Okay. I guess I'll talk about this one.
That's why I said a very little bit, like a little bit.
So The Predator came out in 2018, starring Boyd Holbrook, Trevante Rhodes, Jacob Tremblay, Keegan Michael Key, Olivia Munn, Sterling K. Brown. So it had like a decent Thomas Jane. Right. It had like a decent amount of people that you would say like, yo, this is a movie. The movie was ass.
Hey, you were messing with it?
The movie was cheeks.
I'm a defender. Okay, let's talk about it. Go ahead.
And I mean cheeks. The graphics were trash.
Yeah.
The graphics were trash.
No, debate there.
Yeah, the trash. And every single scene seemed like they were ad-libbing and trying to add on extra parts that didn't need to be there. It felt like the director,
you know what's crazy?
Shane Black, who was I feel like he let them do whatever they wanted in that sense because I felt like a lot of the talking points were unnecessary.
I feel like
it didn't add to this. It didn't add to the story. It took away because it felt like everything was forced. Like it felt like Keegan was playing way too hard to be funny, way too hard.
Yeah, he was.
Thomas Jane's character was too much. Sterling K. Brown felt like he was trying to be overzealous.
That character choice to me was the one that stood out the most because I'm just like, was he trying to be cool, funny? I didn't get it.
I love Sterling K. Brown.
Great actor, but he's not believable to me as an asshole role like that in that way. Like when he was just like, well, we all voted on it. This one sounds better. Yeah. He was just saying like all this little funny stuff, and I'm just like,
I feel like this had it got hit with the same thing that a lot of these Marvel movies got, comedy. There was no reason to be comedy.
And it makes sense.
Way too much.
It makes sense, I guess, because Shane Black is the one behind it. So when you just think about Shane Black, you think about what Iron Man 3, Lethal Weapon, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, The Nice Guys, those kind of movies. So I think, and even Shane Black's character in The Predator, he had those like 3 jokes that like were so off kilter and made no sense. Remember, no one was like paying attention to him. He's like, I want to buy my house a big house, or I want to buy my wife a big house.
Oh, that was Shane Black?
Shane Black, yeah. So I'm saying,
I never took that in, so I didn't know that was him. Yeah, that's stupid joke. My girl said she wanted to buy a bigger house, and he's like, take some pussy. I was like,
looking at him like, all right. So I feel like that was interjected into the scripts and what you're talking about, where he probably let them like, yeah, here, say this right here, or like do that, and it didn't land at all.
Okay, let me just tell you what the movie's about. It didn't land at all. The plot of the movie is that a rogue predator lands on Earth and he has a thing that all the other predators do not want to have. He brings it to Earth, I guess, to help the human race, to fight them off, to warn them, whatever. Yeah. Seeing as the world is dying, they say that the predator reoccurrence of like seeing them is more frequent now.
Yeah. Sorry. It's because it's supposed to be, for the listeners, it's supposed to be every 100 years.
Yeah.
That the predators come to kind of have their annual, like, I guess, hunt. But like Merv said, because of global warming and everything, it just became more frequent.
And anyways, the young boy played by Jacob Tremblay.
My God.
I love him.
He's in The Good Boys or whatever that
he's in everything, bro. He's in bear stuff, yeah. But anyways, his dad, Boyd, is played by Boyd Holbrook. He finds some alien tech after they have a run-in with the Predator. He sends it to Jacob. He sends it to Jacob's house.
Why would you send it to your house? That was like, I'm gonna endanger my family.
Exactly. He sends it to his youth house. And then the youth like presses a couple buttons because he has mental problems.
Yeah, he's on the spectrum. Yeah,
he's on the spectrum. He has. I think he's autistic, and he was able to figure it all out easily and like press some buttons and then sent like a beacon and sent all the predators back down to Earth. And essentially, Boyd is getting going to jail because of things he saw that he wasn't supposed to see, and then Sterling K. Brown's character is trying to get to the ship because they know about predators. Like all the movies they've said now, they've all known about predators, and they're just trying to like hold on to the tech and like use it, whatever, yada yada yada. And then he runs into the loonies. Boyd runs into the loonies, who consist of the people I said earlier, and they just randomly go on a trip to try to save his son for some reason. I don't know why they decided to do it. I don't know why. And because in Nebraska, who was played by Trevante Rhodes, and then they go through the entire movie trying to run away from the predator that's trying to find the kid because the kid has the tech. And then one of the predators, the one that betrayed them, actually get his head torn off by this new one that's like 10 feet tall.
Yeah,
and then it just turns into a whole fight where they have to try to kill this predator. And they ended up doing it. And it took a lot of force. It wasn't like, I don't know, it wasn't a good movie to me personally. They ended up killing the predator, and then everybody else dies except for Olivia Munn, Boyd, and son. Everybody else dies. Yeah. So it was, and even the way that like Keegan's character died, or Thomas's character died, Thomas Jane. It was just like okay, like it was just
they
like
shot each other.
They shot each other. Like it was like some sexual tension there because they were romantic. I don't know, bro. It was just stupid to me personally. I hope I explained it well enough for you to understand how trash it was, and if I didn't, then that's how trash it was. So
the only thing I like about that one too is that it showed, because I did my research, it's like a Bad Blood like comic book where it kind of shows the interspecies beef that some of the predators have, and one of the things I kind of took away from it too as well was that the predators have an honorary system in code where, again, they're only gonna kill people for hunt. And they want to take out, like, again, they'll use you as a trophy by ripping the skull and your spine out of a human or animal who is like the best. If you are, harmless, dying, sick, they're not going to do that. The predators that do that are the ones that are kind of betraying the code. And the new generation predators, like you mentioned, the 10-foot tall one, he was like a mixed hybrid because the predators continue to evolve. Just like how the aliens continue to evolve, the predators, like there's like interspecies, like there's like a predator with like human DNA. There's like predators with like different type of evolution throughout time. And that's why you have different characteristics, whether it be like the visual aspects or like how certain predators act. But I think that kind of showed me a little bit more, because even the scene where that big predator came and was like traitor and murked the other one, I was like, bro, whoa. But outside of that, I agree. I don't know, bro. It was,
trash. It grossed a worldwide total of $160 million. And the budget for the film was $88 million. Obviously, quite a rise in budget. And it was ranked the fourth highest grossing film behind in the Predators franchise, behind Predators and the original.
Oh, wow.
So yeah.
At the end too, they had that little kind of look like nanotech where Tony Stark, remember it went out to the little scientist at the end.
And then they set it up for like a new movie, and no movie has ever. It's just like,
and I think because like what you said, it probably received a lot of poor reception, and that's why they didn't continue with a new movie. And they went in a completely different direction with Prey.
Yeah, which we'll talk about in our next act. So this is the end of Act 2, and then we're gonna go into Act 3 right now. So after this media time. Welcome back. SceneDMs, issue 48, the one with Alien vs. Predator. So obviously we talked about every every Predator film so far. And we have one more film to talk about in the franchise, which I personally think is the best.
Oh, I like that.
I think it's number 1, Predator number 2, and then just throw all the rest wherever you want to throw them. But as long as the Predators at the end. So Dwayne, give us a little rundown of the Prey, and what you thought about it.
Oh man, my fault. I'm just thinking about the ranking, because now I'm just like, I think I have my rankings too. But basically, Prey came out in 2022. Now, Merv, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't watch this movie in theaters. I don't know what we were doing in 2022, but when I watched it, I was kind of like, I kicked myself. I was like, bro, what the hell? Like,
I should have watched it in theaters.
Yeah, and I'm trying to remember and recall if it was because of COVID, like maybe why it kind of slipped under the rug. I know it did well financially, but I still think it wasn't as big as like a cultural phenomenon as it probably would have been if it wasn't for like the after effects of COVID. But nevertheless, it's a great film in my opinion. Like Merv said, it's probably in my top 3 or maybe my second film. Takes place in 1719, so it serves as a prequel. And it's one of those well-impacted prequels that really help, give explanation to the story. But it follows Naru, who's a healer in their tribe, and she tries to prove that she's more than that by trying to hunt with her brother and the rest of the tribe. And they realize while they're hunting, which, there's like a big cat that's out there wounding some of their tribe members. They realize that, or she realizes that there's something bigger than the mountain lion that's out there, that's stalking not only the mountain lion, but them as well. And she sees that it's the predator essentially. And we don't really see much of him. We just see him every now and then, but she's an excellent tracker. And she eventually is able to encounter the predator who's been basically killing animals for some time. She's kind of hard-headed and stubborn. So when she encounters the lion, she hits her head, wakes up back at the tribe. Her brother brought her back. Her mother's trying to urge her not to go back out there. This is not what you do. You're more of a healer. You shouldn't be out on the battlefield. Let the men do what the men do, and you stay here. But she kind of doesn't listen to that. She has her dog. Her dog's also like a very smart tracker dog as well. So she sets herself out, goes back out there, and she gets to the point where I like the part with the predator and the bear too. It actually prompted me to do a lot of research. You could definitely tell the bear was CGI. And
easily, yeah.
And it kind of I miss the old days where I remember watching this movie called The Edge, where there was an actual actor bear. His name was Bart the Bear, and I actually watched a video of him presenting an envelope to Mike Myers at the Oscars. The bear got nominated for an Oscar. Fam. He was like in like 8 or 11 films, I think, and he was like, he had like the greatest temperament. He had his own dressing room. That was like so well trained. It was crazy. But watching the behind the scenes, watching the behind the scenes with the bear, I swear, and then seeing how they use bear, like in The Revenant, they use like CGI and stuff. So like, how we kind of digress but progress in a way because more technology, but like we always talk about
that's harming the real bears though.
Yeah, that's true. But practicality is always better. But I like that scene of the bear and the predator because it just shows you like, okay, the bear is obviously one of the apex predators on land, but then the predator just destroyed that thing with one hand. Yeah. So eventually, like I said at the end of the movie, she gets to a point where she actually gets kidnapped. I guess by the white men, but the French, and they use her and her brother as bait to try and lure the predator in. Predator ends up murking all of them with the quickness, and I actually like that scene because of the cinematography.
The way
behind
he goes through and duns these guys off,
and it was so like ominous with the fog. And like the cool tone and color,
bro, and the running through the trees, the different things like that, bro. The different weapons he used, bro. The way he was slicing and dicing,
right. And this Predator, I like the movement more. I don't know if it's because I didn't do my research on this part, but I don't know if would you say it was CGI? I don't think it was a guy in a suit, was it, or was it?
I think it was a guy in a suit.
Okay, because it
looked like it was.
He moved way more fluid than the other Predators, and even just his way of tracking. I guess because the movie was set back in the day.
He didn't have as much technology, so he wasn't as bulky. He didn't have to be as bulky, and he barely had the mask on his face.
Right,
he had like his teeth were still showing at the bottom. Like he just had it for like his eyes a little bit.
Right,
so.
and then we basically see her hold her own at the end, and then she was always kind of struggling when it came to combat, even to a point where like her brother's friends beat her up, which I thought was OD, to try and get her to come back.
They didn't beat her up. They had to team up to beat her up. He whooped that nigga ass. God, she was. That's what I liked about it because then she like really showed that, and then she actually got her chance. She showed herself at the end too, where she was able to like. Not with the Predator, but before that with the Frenchman.
Yeah, with the Frenchman.
Holy, she was cooking them guys too. I was like, oh, I didn't know you had to like this.
Yeah, and then she was moving like Scorpion when she tied the string to her axe. I thought that was pretty dope too.
Yeah, facts.
Get over here.
Yeah.
That was dope. But we seen the callback at the end in like every movie. You know how we spoke about the Alien franchise and like every alien that died either went through the space, like through a chute, space. Every Predator, I feel like, had got murked through their own technology. And again, she kind of lured the Predator into like a trap where he ended up having his own weapon, time it properly to like give him a headshot, and killed him. And I thought it was, like you said, cinematography was amazing. The script was good. The acting was incredible. Just to set scenes and bringing it back to the jungle, but being like way prior in history. So like having less things out there. I thought it was really good. Then we see the connection and the callback of the pistol and who the guy was that actually gave the pistol to her and taught her how to use it. And then I'd assume at the end that she's gonna give the pistol. Cause I think it was announced a sequel.
The Predator comes to and murks him. And then
but that's what I'm saying because they I saw at the end credits they had they made they alluded that the Predators come back, right? And then they had like the little pictures of like the storytelling.
Oh, I thought that was I thought that meant for like the beginning. I wasn't paying attention.
No, I think that's like what happened after, right? Because I just actually saw Merv right before we did this episode that a sequel was announced in February 24th. So a sequel to Prey. So obviously she survived, and there has to be some type of continuation of that particular story.
Yeah.
With that going forward, but I think that it was a really good movie, well done film. I have it as number 2 on my list for the ranked Predator films.
No, I definitely have it as number 1. I thought it, from a primitive standpoint, it was really good to see the beginning, and prequel in this sense, like made the most sense. I thought there was no real holes in the story because it's harder to have holes when it's a prequel.
Right.
But you can mess up a prequel. Quiet Place, day 1. But you can't. I feel like with this one, they did a really good job of like, doing the callbacks. Like even just saying like, "Come on!" Remember she said she was like, "Come on, come on, come on!" Yeah. Like just like Arnold Schwarzenegger, "Come get me, come get me."
Yeah,
because remember how he like set up the same trap in the first one, and she set up a trap for him, and that's why she like did the same thing with him and stuff like that. Like I like the callbacks. And I love how like she called back to her getting stuck in the mud and her having to do that too. Like, I think that like the movie does a great job, and I knew they weren't going to kill off the dog because I mean everybody would have been up in arms over that.
They wouldn't have made it past the second focus group.
Easily, they would have been dead in the movie.
Yeah,
they don't care about anything else. We don't care about racism, but hey, we'll draw the line at animals for sure. But no, great film, but. As the title of this episode alludes to, it is Alien vs. Predator, and we cannot talk about Predator and last week talk about Alien without talking about the combination of both films. And obviously, Alien v Predator, the one that we talked about earlier.
Yeah, sir.
Talked about earlier when we talked about Sanaa Lathan, and it came out in 2004, so it actually came out before Predators. It came out before Predators, came out before The Predator, and it came out before Prey.
Right.
And so this movie, give it a quick rundown, came out 2004, starring Sanaa Lathan, as we keep talking about, Lance Henriksen, Ewan Bremer, Colin Salmon, I think that's Salmon, I think. And it pretty much follows as this group of scientists tried to find this ancient area of like these gods that they think that we used to serve and people that used to run the world.
Yeah.
And they go to this place in Antarctica, but find that it's like already drilled into, and the pyramids and everything is already blessed. Like there's no problems, whatever.
And the pyramids are underground too.
And they're underground. Yeah, sorry. And they said randomly over like 100 years ago, the whole city vanished that the pyramids are under. So also alluding to the predators that we already know and how they come every 100 years. And then it just talks about how what happens in the film is that they get a history lesson, and it talks about how the predators will come to Earth, make these creatures, aliens, and then battle them for sport. Like they do to human beings and all the other movies. They did it with aliens, and they said that's the only reason the aliens exist. And obviously Ridley Scott like punched that in the gut easily.
Yeah, he said no
by changing that. That's dead.
This did a good job of providing that backstory for me though. Like, so basically,
that's why I thought it was original. The
predators came like far in ancient times, and they helped the humans to build the pyramids, right?
Yeah,
and then they told
the humans built the pyramids for them.
For them, yes. They told them to build them.
Yeah,
and they said, I'm asking you actually. So basically, the predators said we need you guys to stick around because we want you guys like to sacrifice. And
they just needed a human sacrifice, so they would pick like 3 people, 4 people, whatever, to be the host bodies for the aliens.
Okay,
and so then they use that. They would come down, do it, and then they would have their fail safe, like we talked about, in the first Predator movie, where like they said like, fam, if I'm about to die, I'm deading all these aliens, everybody, because as we know, aliens, the mother alien can like hatch bare eggs,
they can multiply crazy.
Exactly, and that's what they say technically happened to that area when what is it called? When the aliens affected all the people in the city, and the aliens went after the predators, and the predators were just like, yo, well, if I'm gonna die, all you guys are gonna die, and just deaded it. So in the movie we follow the scientists as they go into the pyramids to try to figure that whole thing out, and then they're one by one start getting murked by aliens,
bro.
Because they end up being sacrificed for the aliens. They get murked by aliens, and the predators come through and try to murk the aliens. Aliens are deading them.
Yeah,
and then one of the predators, then one of the predators is like, yo, like after all the aliens dead off everybody else, Sanaa Lathan, one of the predators comes to Sanaa Lathan and is like, all right, bro. Like, you know what I mean? You showed that you can do something. So like, let me give you some gear or some whatever.
You're useful still.
Yeah, exactly. You're a little useful. So then they use the gear. They're able to go kill and murk all the some of the aliens, escape. But then the big mother alien is able to get out simply because her babies come through and start. You know how they bleed acid.
And
was able to burn the chains and get her out of there, where she was subsequently killed off by a predator and Sanaa Lathan by getting dropped into the ice cold tundra of Antarctica. So
and unfortunately, the predator didn't make it.
And because the predator didn't make it, the ship came with all the predators, came through, and
that was appeared out of nowhere.
Pick out of nowhere because invisibility. Appeared with the ship, picked them up, and they were just like, they kind of gave her a nod and was like, yeah,
we allow you. Good job.
Yeah, we allow you. And then I remember she walked onto the ship, or she didn't? No, she didn't.
No, she didn't. She stayed, they left her.
And they walked there, they left, and then obviously the movie ends.
Great ending.
The movie ends with the alien popping out of the stomach of the dead predator.
And when that alien opens his mouth, we see the hybrid formation because of like it had like a predator mouth like type mandible.
Yeah, exactly. And then we move into the second one of Alien vs. Predator, and Dwayne will touch on that one real quick.
Oh, damn, do I have to? I don't like this one. Alien vs. Predator.
So I get why.
Came out in 2007. It had like I said, the first one, AVP, had my hopes up. But Alien vs. Predator, the Requiem was, the special effects in this movie were amazing, but the story was incoherent, in my opinion. And the cinematography, this was like one of the most frustrating movies I watched. And now I understand how important lighting and cinematography is, because there were so many scenes in this movie where I generally could not see what was going on. It actually reminded me of us the other day. I was at dinner with Merv, and Merv's like, yo, why is the room so dark? And I said, Fab, your glasses are on. You had to take your shades off. Merv was reading the bill and said, bro, I cannot see anything. I said, bro, you have shades on inside, bro. You had to take it off. But that's how I felt watching the movie. Like, I actually couldn't see certain combat scenes, whether it was in the sewage part when the alien was, or when the predator was attacking all those aliens, or at the end. But basically it picks up right after AVP, so I guess that's a good thing. When the hybrid, and that's what the hybrid predator and alien come together, and they form whatever it's called, which I'll say later. But it destroys the hunters on the ship, and it crash lands in Colorado. Lone survivor is basically sent, and he sent out a warning to his homeland of predators, and that's where we kind of see for the first time that predators have like their own planet, I guess, or homeland or something, where the hunter receives a distress signal. and he heads back to Earth to track it down. And it ends with them engaging in like a single combat. I'm just gonna skip all the stuff in between it because again, it wasn't that important. It was like, jeez. But before the government basically nukes the whole town, which is like the laziest ending you could think of. I don't know if they were pressed for time or they're like, but that apparently was the end goal of the movie. And they nuked the town and killed everybody in it, except for some of the main characters who somehow made it out of the blast radius.
Also made it out with the weapons that
with the weapons
that eventually was given at the end to
right. And it ends with the Predator tech weapons, like you said, being retrieved by Yutani. And then I mean, it was met with abysmal, reviews.
Was it Yutani that got it? Because Yutani is obviously the one against.
Because she was the one that was like, and then the guy's like, they're not ready for this type of technology and whatever. But again,
I'm confused about the storyline then, because that makes no sense.
Yes,
on what we know.
yes, exactly.
Because how could Yutani get that, and then what are they doing with that?
Exactly,
it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't. There's a lot of things I didn't understand. Because even the last one, Waylon got killed. Because remember, the Predator allowed him because he saw the cancer, and then he turned around and Waylon Charles tried to blast him with fire, and the Predator said, "All right, now you're pissing me off," and then killed him. And then I said, "So how is he?"
I forgot the man's name was Waylon because I think about Ridley Scott's timeline only.
That's what I'm saying. So then I was like, "So how is this guy still alive?" Oh, okay, I guess there's okay. Anyways, or that's just a different Waylon.
That was a son, whatever.
Yeah. But. Yeah, I don't know, man. This movie, like I said, the cinematography was dark. And what I realized, too, after doing my research, is that the special effects was actually pretty dope. And they spent so much money on the special effects that they cut budgets on the actors. And that's why every actor in this movie, we do not know who they are. And that's no disrespect to them. But it felt like a TV movie.
This again.
It felt like I was watching.
It was definitely a TV movie. I'll tell you
what I mean? It felt like you're watching like.
And even that was forced, bro. All of it was forced. Like they tried to mix a teen drama with
that's what it was. Yeah, the coming of age teen drama. Man's getting bullied. Like, why am I supposed to care about any of these characters?
And why did they do it in Colorado out of all places, bro?
I don't know. Maybe for budget cut reasons again. Like we could film in this town, but yeah, that movie, like I said, the
John Ortiz was in it. So I mean, that's a person I know the most.
Yeah, that's the cop. Right? They played the sergeant. Yeah. We know him from a lot of stuff. He's killing it in Bad Monkey right now with Vince Vaughn, but. Man, a lot of the other people we don't know, and I'd be hard pressed to see if they were in other movies or in other films after that. No offense,
no disrespect to them.
No disrespect to them. I just like sometimes when you watch these movies with these heralded histories in the franchise, you'd like a big name to be attached to it. And if
Rika Allsworth was also in 24. I'll give her that.
Okay, that's nice. Nice little show.
That's a nice little show. That's insane.
You're right. That's a tough show. But no. And these shows, these movies, you need somebody that could kind of respectfully draw in the people. And unless, like, when we talked about Romulus last week, those guys were acting at a high level, and I can't say the same for these guys. Like, it came off too melodrama-y. And it just didn't capture my attention, to be honest.
They tried to capture the lightning in a bottle that the first one did with the fans, and I think that they just went a different route. They tried to make it more grounded. And I felt like you already did the ground level kind of stuff, so now I was kind of see it like, I don't know. I don't know how I'd write it personally, but they could have done a better job.
Yeah.
Personally, but that's the end of the franchise. Technically, both actually. So part 2 of Aliens and Predators. So me personally, I have to think about I don't have to think about my ranking. My ranking for the movies goes Prey, Predator, Predators, Predator 2, and then Predator, and then Predator.
And the Alien. You didn't include those, or are you?
I didn't do Alien because but I can. But I was just including the Predator movies. Do you want to do both? I wasn't gonna do both.
I meant Alien versus Predator, like just those two.
Oh, include those. Okay, well, Alien versus Predator would be like 4th. After Predators. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably go. That's a good ranking. I'd probably go. Like I said, I can't shake the Arnold Schwarzenegger effect, so I'm gonna go with the Predator, the original. Then I would go with Prey. Then I would go with AVP, the first one. Then I would go with Predators. Then I would go with the third Predator. And then I would go with Predator 2, and then I would do the last AVP Requiem. I'm missing one.
No, the Predator should be last. Even Requiem was better than that crap. It was dang near the same, but Requiem at least had aliens in it. So
I mean, the Predator. I like that they had Olivia Munn in it, and I like that they changed the line.
Good point.
I like that they changed. Good point. Touche. I like that they changed the line. You know how every time the Predator takes his mask off, he's like, "You ugly mother." And her being a scientist, she was like, "You are one gorgeous or whatever mother effer" to the alien because she was like infatuated, I guess, with the biology.
I didn't look that much into it. I wasn't really locked in on the movie. The movie so ass. It was, bro. I watched it and I had to rewind it because I like fell asleep.
Yeah,
and I was like, bro, this is what I was watching yesterday. Yeah. I was like, okay, bro, I guess, but okay, great list. So I have a couple questions before we move into the wrap up. Yeah, a couple questions for you, brother. So first question, do you feel like in the Alien vs Predators, do you think there was any like winner?
Honestly, I'm gonna go on record and say Alien is more dominant than the Predator in the sense that there's just too many of them, and like you know what I mean. They outnumber them. I think the Predator, when it comes to fighting, like held their own in these movies. Mm-hmm. But I just I fear like if the aliens if they get too many hosts, I guess if the Predator has to blow up the planet or the city. Yeah. But if they don't do that, they're just completely outnumbered. Like the Predators are just completely outnumbered. Like if the facehuggers went crazy, the eggs can be dormant. There's so many different queens that we've seen throughout, but in terms of them fighting one-on-one, I think it was a fair fight. And whenever we saw the Predator would destroy an alien, the alien would then the next very scene would destroy a Predator. So they kept it very close, but I would probably have to side with the alien just because of the tail. But then it's tough because then there's hybrid predators. So then that changes things a little bit. But just for the sake of the argument, I think I'm going to go with the alien. I think the aliens won.
I think that's interesting because I think about it. I was just thinking about that while you were talking. I was like, dang, but we seen that for all the predators that died, they all died at the hand of one of their own weapons.
Facts. That's a very good point.
So you have a higher chance of killing. I mean, I guess you do have a high chance of killing a predator. Mm. And if you're about to anyway, he's gonna murk the entire planet. So you better get the heck out of there. But I don't know. The acid. The only thing that keeps Alien above is the fact that even if you murk it, fam, the acid is gonna murk you.
That's what I'm saying. So
you have to be at a long distance.
There's so many things you have to be cautious of when you're fighting an alien, bro.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, even in I think it was Alien vs Predator, Requiem, whatever it's called. That the Predator threw that net that they always throw to make them think, and even that the alien was able to get out of that because their acid their claws were itching, I mean, you know what I mean, scratched it and stuff like that. So
yeah, I
don't know, man. I think I would just like to be on the other side. I would just like to say Predator. I would say a Predator would win on a mono Queen. Okay, well, maybe not Queen. That's the OD. Yeah, but Queen's OD. But maybe Predator, one of the best aliens versus one of the best predators. That mammoth one that was in the Predator. That Jesus God that had hooves for legs. That one was OD. But yeah, so I would say Predator. I would say Predator just to keep things even. Yeah. I'm not gonna make it a unanimous around here. Is there any other alien character in any other film that you think can compete against either of these guys?
Yeah, I actually can I give you a team? I have a roster. I have a roster.
So it's 5 guys pause against one?
Actually, no, they are different answers. I couldn't
different answers. Yeah.
So I have a team.
Yeah, you can never pick one anyway. So
yeah, I have a team of 8. I have a team of 8 guys. So 3 guys coming off the bench just in case these guys get murked. But for me, I'll probably start off with Superman. Come on, bro. That's one of the number 1 aliens out there.
The acid thing, I don't know how impenetrable he is with that. I don't know,
but at least he can fight from a distance. He has the heat ray.
And I forgot he's an alien too. So
I would go with Martian the Manhunter, also from Justice League, because he could, take different forms. My fault. No, look, I actually this was it.
I was gonna say Thanos.
You know what's crazy? I bet on next. Well, he's a symbiote. So I don't know.
You're right. Yeah.
Silver Surfer.
This nigga here.
All right, probably mix it up, and then if not, we got Goku.
Is he an alien?
Yeah, he's an alien. He was sent to Earth. Yeah.
Oh shoot.
You know, Trizzy will come confirm that on the anime episode in the future. But yeah, Goku is an alien. Look it up. Yeah. That man is an alien. I'm a Dragon Ball Z Dragon Ball Z fan.
Goku comes in a race of nearly extinct extraterrestrials called Saiyans. Yeah.
That's an alien, bro.
Yeah.
Goku, Super Saiyan, gang.
Okay. Who's that?
All right, so here are the guys off the bench. I'm going to go with one of your favorite, only because he was so menacing to me when I was a kid, but I'm going to go 6-man Iron Giant.
He would get murked.
Yeah, probably. And then I would go. These two are just like funny ones, but you gotta have the coaches still on my team. You know what I'm saying? Gotta have the red shirt, the water boy that could get in when we're up by 20, and that would probably be Marvin the Martian. Remember him from Looney Tunes?
Yeah,
has mad weapons. He's also an alien. Then probably Optimus Prime would be my last pick because he's also the Transformers are also aliens as well. So I'll probably go Optimus Prime. But honestly, out of that list, I don't know. There's also the Thing too. The Thing would do well against him as well. The Thing from the movie, The Thing. But did you have any in mind?
Oh, I guess. Yeah, you're taking some of the good ones. I guess I'll say Thor. If you're gonna go that way, Thor.
Yep.
You said Venom already. Since you already used all of them,
the other ones aren't that good, man. Like Stitch is too small.
Stitch is too small.
Who else could we think of that's an alien?
Oh, Jean Jacket from Nope. Mm-hmm. From Nope would murk them. That's it's a ship, but as an entity, it's weird, bro. And maybe
out of everybody, I'm probably putting my money on Superman or
I'll probably. But that's what I'm saying because once you said Superman, I was like, okay, I didn't know it was like. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that would have to be it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm definitely forgetting about somebody, but...
Would you choose the same people to go against the Predator as well? Or would you faith in other people, other aliens? Other alien characters?
No, I think that... Groot?
Oh, yeah.
I'll go Groot. I'll go Groot, yeah, because he can just regrow. Mm-hmm. Oh, then if we're doing that, then I'm obviously gonna go with Lobo. Obviously. Oh yeah. Lobo can't die. So
yeah.
I mean, if we're gonna do that, but I was just trying to think of like movie characters people might know. Gamora would have a good chance. Good chance. I don't know if she Hot Girl. Hot Girl would murk them with her mallet for sure. Mm-hmm. You're not agreeing?
I don't know.
Damn.
I don't know about that one.
Damn.
That's a game time decision. I gotta see that one.
But yeah, those are my only options. I'd say like Thor. Who did I say? Groot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really have much still, I'm not gonna lie. So all right, well, last question before we wrap it up. So do you think you want to see another franchise come up with, or another franchise randomly come up with a new alien that would be like of this stature? Or would you just like to see them just keep making more aliens versus more Predator movies?
I think we need a proper Alien vs. Predator movie. So I don't know when that's going to happen in the future, but we need like a proper one that could, be fan service, but also that could give proper exposition and mythology and credit to, the origins of both of them, but also connect them a little bit better. Like that's one of the things I struggle with when going through both these franchises, that they tried hard to connect them, but then like you said, there's certain things that fell out of the canon and didn't really make sense and loopholes. But I mean, it's tough when you have multiple directors that have different visions and studios that have different, intentions of where to go with it. But I definitely think we need a redo when it comes to AVP. Like that, it should have been better. Like it just like flat out, the potential was there. You know what I'm saying? It's like a super team that just didn't work. Like it didn't make sense.
Yeah, Justice League, the movie,
right? Like, fam, it was okay, but could have been better. It reminds me of like Dame and Giannis's link up last year. Like it was okay, but could have been way better. Like I just feel like we need we just like, bro, it's the Predators we're talking about, and then it's the aliens. Like, I don't understand why both of their standalone first movies were so great, and then it just like kind of went downhill in certain aspects. And then putting them together, it's like they weren't able to figure out that formula. So I would want to see, as a fan of action and of horror and sci-fi and of just the mythology of these characters, I would want to see a better, whether it's a reboot and then they can explain it better, or whether it's a continuation. But I think a reboot would serve that better. And then I'm not gonna lie, bro. We saw with Romulus, and then we also seen with Prey. I'm a fan of these movies, man. So I don't have the fatigue yet. So I don't mind seeing another a Prey sequel, especially because going back into the prequel stuff, like you said, it was good.
Yeah.
Or seeing another Alien movie. Just because, like, now that we're so engulfed into the franchise, I'm actually really intrigued by it. And
Me too.
I want to see where they can take it and exploring other elements of it. So yeah, I would be. It's not one of those things where I'm like, bro, please don't make any more. Like, for example, I think today we just saw the SceneDMs. Our page posted it, but they're making a live action / CGI film of the Rugrats. And as I
For
was
what god awful reason,
literally, I was struggling to make the post. I'm just like, why did you want to promote this? Like, why are we doing this? Like, as a kid who's born in the 90s, that Rugrats movie was everything to me, and it was untouchable.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, you know what they like to do, bro? I think what they like to do in the movie business or TV show business, whatever it is they like to dig up the dead. Yeah. That's what I would like to say. They literally love zombies because they love to dig up the dead. They want to like reincarnate something. They want to just do something, bring something back from the dead that was just like, bro, some things are good left alone. You know what I mean? Like we've seen in multiple movies where the people try to bring back people from the dead. Yeah. And what happens? There's a lot of complications, bro. Sometimes you got to leave well enough alone.
I swear. And here's the thing too. I know you have another question after this, but for me, it's like, do you think it's because of the success of all these legacy? Because, you know, people out there, legacy sequels are the ones that, you know, after decades, they come out with a sequel. Mm-hmm. So I think I could be wrong, but I want to say that Top Gun Maverick kind of started that, like, recently, where it was like, oh, they're making a movie 30 years later, and then, oh, damn, it was fire. Like, and then I feel like, you know how, like, we always talk about Hollywood's a monkey see, monkey do. So it's like, oh, they made ass money reprising it and just adding some new actors to it. Now look at this. And then, you know what I'm saying? Because now we have Gladiator 2 coming out, where it's like nobody asked for it, and it kind of doesn't make sense if you watch the original Gladiator, like how they're going to bring certain characters. Like, I seen what happened, bro. You can't fool me. And there's other movies that are doing the same thing, where it's just like, bro, Roadhouse, like, why are we making a remake of that came out in the 80s? Like, so I don't know if it's because they've seen the success of certain films.
No, it's not. It's laziness. It's laziness. Lack of originality. I saw Vince Vaughn talk about it on Hot Ones. He's just like, people are just afraid to make anything original anymore because they know studios don't want to take that risk to put a lot of money into those movies, because they're just like, yo, why would we make this original film when we can just make Fast and Furious 20? Right. You know what I mean? That we know is going to bring in bank. You know what I mean? And it's just like, I feel like the people, the execs and people up there, like they're not the right people they think about money more than anything else. For sure. And I don't know if that's always how they've been. Maybe that's always how they've been, but I feel like you got to have people up there that have that creative juice, the juice to be like, yo, you know what? Let's make this original film. And yeah, I'm not saying that they don't, but it's rare because, like, you know, you sent me that skit the other day of this guy going through, like, let's watch new movies. Like, every movie is a prequel or a sequel or a remake. Yeah. And then he went through remake, sequel, prequel. And it's just like, bro, like, there's nothing that has any originality. Mm-hmm. And I mean, and I found that out a lot years later when we did that episode of remakes. Mm-hmm. I was just like, yo, I didn't even know there was this many remakes. Like, I didn't know, like, I thought these were original movies to me, and then come to find out they're remakes. So I think it's just studios are scared, execs are scared. I don't think it has anything to do with, like, I think the writers have it. I think writers go to them and say, like, yo, let's do this. And that's why you have, like, guys like M. Night Shyamalan who does, like, his own. He's like, yo, I'm going to make my own movies. I'm going to do my own thing because you guys are not, you know, I'm not trusting you guys. You guys are not going to do Signs. You guys are not gonna do The Visit. Like, you know what I mean? You guys are not gonna do those movies no more. You know what I mean? Those are the movies he did, and like Unbreakable, like all those ones. Like, you guys don't want to do movies like that no more. Yeah. So I think, like, that,
bro, they're making a Heat 2, and I'm like, bro, Heat's my favorite movie. Why are we waiting 30 years for a sequel? Like, am I gonna watch it? Yes, but like,
I can't wait for them to come out with Godfather 4. Because once they say God, bro, they're gonna say Godfather 4, and watch. I guarantee you, I can guarantee you right now, they're gonna do a Godfather 4.
If they come with a Godfather 4, I might purposely never watch movies again. Like I might sign a contract that says I can never be allowed to watch movies again.
Bro, they're gonna make it, and they're gonna piss you off. Watch, I'm telling you.
Or I might pick it outside the studio and just like, bro, nah, you guys can't make this movie.
Bro, it's because it's like if they sit in the rooms, they're like, okay, guys, shoot me ideas, and the guy's like, yo, okay, what about we do Godfather, right? But again, and they're like, oh my God, clap. Yes, we love it. We love it. Come on now. Yeah, bro, I just think it's crazy. I don't think that they should be doing any remakes, honestly. I don't think that that's something that they should be doing. It's crazy to me personally. But
bro, I think we joked about this in season 1, but I feel like back then, the 80s and especially the 80s, bro, 70s, 80s, like in those studios, just everybody was just on cocaine, just like mounds of cocaine, and just like, yo, it would be a great idea. They're like, actually, yeah, it would. And some of them hit, and some of them did it. But now,
so what are they taking now? They're drinking green teas and stuff, and they're not peaceful in there. Nah, I need them to be mayhem again, mayhem.
Yeah, because these ideas are either boring or, like you said, like just being lazy, man, and tapping back into stuff that we already seen. And the weird thing too is when you have other directors that weren't a part of the original sequels, I guess it's cool to see like, okay, like when I watch a movie or you watch a movie, I'm sure that we think like, oh, imagine if it went in this direction. But I still respect the piece of art enough to not like be like, I'm just gonna go make another movie like with the same stuff. You know what I mean? And I feel like too many people don't do that. They're like, oh no, I imagine this franchise with this type of take, and then they just take it so far left that it either is not good
or has nothing to do with the source material anymore.
Nothing to do with source material, and then you can't recover from it. So yeah, I think they need to chill out on that. For sure.
Facts, bro. But nah, man, we hit the end of the episode, the wrap up. And before we get into the Let Me Put You On segment, we have the long-awaited heat check segment of the show.
Yes, sir. And it's my turn.
And it definitely is Dwayne's turn. So, Dwayne, go ahead and ask your questions, brother.
All right. So my first question is, do you know the, I guess the actual name of the predator? Because the predator is just a nickname, like the actual species name.
No, that's the only one. Let's go. What is it? What is the name?
It's like a Ujida.
Yeah, I was gonna know that. So yeah. This guy. I also didn't know that.
Damn, Ujida.
So the man
YAUTJA. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's from the comics.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. I think it's a Yuja or something like that. But I actually saw people arguing about the pronunciation of it, and then the guy who was like talking was like, it's from a comic, so like,
it's like how you read it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like shut up because it's
not
fake.
Real. Salt?
Because imagine like, no, that's how you say it. He's like,
just
bro,
shut up.
like there's so many different. Yeah, just shut up. The next one, I was gonna say. This one might be tough too, but do you know how many different numbers of species of predators are? Like the actual number?
I want to say 9.
Oh, nah, bro, it's 38.
Ooh, I was way off.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to name them all off, or are you gonna skip that part?
Nah, I cannot do that, brother.
Do you know the main one?
Yeah, what's the main?
No, I'm saying what is the main one? I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh,
I forgot. Oh, I forgot the name.
Okay, next question, bro. Next question.
O2. All right, so in Alien vs. Predator at the end, like we talked about, there was a hybrid alien. Do you know the name of the hybrid alien?
What, the Alien and Predator one?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't, bro.
It's the Predalien. So like the super predator is the Predalien, yeah.
Are you kidding me? Predalien? Just predator and alien mixed together? Are you kidding me?
Yeah. I swear to God.
Okay, bro. I clearly didn't do my research. Continue. 03.
I'll make this one.
No. Keep the questions with the guys, bro. I want to see if I can go over. Go.
All right. I was gonna say,
bro, ask the question, bro. Don't be afraid now.
In the original Predator, what is the the final sequence, the thing that happened that like mortally wounded the Predator. Like what did Arnold Schwarzenegger do that wounded the Predator to the point where he was like, all right, bro, I'm just gonna blow us all up because you got me. Like when he lured him, like you said, when he was like, come and get me.
Oh, was wasn't that like wooden trap thing that he had? Yeah.
Like the big log came and crushed the Predator from over the top.
Yeah.
It's tight. All right. One for what was that?
One for four if you want to count that, I guess.
What my last one be?
Last question, I guess. Waistband. All
right, last question is there was in the first Predator. I keep going back to that one. Sorry, but the first Predator, there's
ask me about
a famous character.
Anyways, go back.
Sorry, go to my personal favorite. This is my questions, bro. In the first Predator, there's a lot of famous people in this movie, but there's another famous, character in there who's known for an even bigger.
Creed, no, it's Carl Weathers. Yeah, obviously. That's easy.
Great.
Yeah. 2 for 1, 2 for 5. There's the only main character in it, so and he played Apollo. So, but all right, 2 for 5 for Mick, Big Merv. Well, that is it, man, for the heat check part and the regulation. Now we're on the part where let me put you on segment of the show. Well, we'll be actually recommending any of the movies we mentioned today, and I would recommend 2. DuuNo will go follow. So the 2 I'll recommend is obviously Alien vs. Predator. Given the fact that we talked to you about aliens last week, it would be nice to watch Alien vs. Predator and see what you think about the storyline and how they make it seem like Alien and Predator like were created and how they are, kind of thing. Really and truly, in Alien vs. Predator, they make it seem like the Predator is like you know what I mean? Like the Don Dada, essentially. Like the god, because they're the ones that create the aliens. So that's what they make it seem. Anyways, that's number 1. And number 2, I would go with Predators, the one that came out in 2010. I would love to see that perspective. If you've already seen Predator and Predator 2, I would love to see what you think about Predators and that perspective of being on a different world, being hunted, and all that stuff like that. But those are the 2 I would suggest. What about you?
I'm about to say, yo.
Oh, God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, DuuNo. I'm so sorry. I take that back. Ryan Gosling, when I promote that one. Not Predators, sorry. Prey. Go see Prey.
Oh, yeah,
sorry,
Prey.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
God, that was terrible. Sorry, Prey is the movie.
I'm about to say the Predators movie, one that came in 2010, it reminds me of like a Hunger Games situation.
Good point. Yeah.
But for me, I'm definitely going to recommend, of course, the first one.
I love that movie.
Predator. I do, bro. Get to the chopper. I just.
He doesn't say it like that, honestly. His accent's not even crazy.
It's not, but I'm just using Arnold's accent. Oh, but man, I just love that movie. I even love bro, there's so many parts of that movie, bro. When one of the men gets shot and he's like, bro, I think you're bleeding. He's like, I don't have time to bleed. I said,
I know, it was very macho man movie. So, very macho man.
Man said, we never seen Pancho scared before. What is he? He said, there's something out there. That movie's elite. And then you just did Prey, so I'm not going to double down on it, but great movie. I think I will go, you know what? That movie's trash.
Why don't you just double down?
Yeah, I'm just going to Prey.
So both of us recommend Prey, so you guys got to watch Prey.
Yeah, Prey's elite.
Alrighty, well, great suggestions. Franchise, at one point we're going to have to rank all these franchises that we've talked about on this show, on this pod.
Maybe a
little draft of franchises, and this will be at the end. So I'll let you know this will be the 60th pick.
Oh wow! All right, Isaiah Thomas still killed.
And I ain't gonna say it. That's Snake. You set me up. That was like a alley-oop. You tried to set me up for that. That was crazy.
I was about to say,
I never said that. I never said that. I would never say anything like that. I love the slow grind. Pause. But anyways, this is the end of this man Dwayne's a snake. This is the end of regulation. Thank you so much for tuning in to SceneDMs issue 48. 8 and Alien vs Predator. Been a good 2 weeks. Thank you for tuning in. Follow us on IG, Twitter, TikTok. Subscribe on YouTube, all at SceneDMs. And on YouTube, I think it's SceneDMs podcast. Obviously, if you're already tuning in, appreciate you. If you know people that aren't tuning in, tell them to tune in, man. We got big things popping. Dwayne's running the Instagram page amazingly right now. So it's very entertaining. You never know what you're gonna see on the page. So go and give the page a quick shout out, like, share, follow, subscribe, comment. Just show love, man. Appreciate you guys being here, and we'll see you next week.
Yes, sir.
See ya.